So we're planning on going to Sedona this morning, but we might have to reevaluate our plans. We'll see here soon. What is going on? Thanks for joining us here for episode 2 on there'ssomethingbetter.com, where we visit Sedona. When I sat down, we got back, and I tried to think about adjectives used to describe Sedona and the experience. Amazing definitely comes to mind. Hyperbole also comes to mind, not because of Sedona. It's because these days, just about everything gets more credit than it really is due. This restaurant is fantastic, this person is brilliant, blah, 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 blah. Most that you hear these days is crap. Sedona, however, is one of those places that absolutely deserves all the praise it gets, and probably just a bit more. Sedona, Arizona is bucket list worthy because of the views and the natural experiences. Sure, it's got a vibrant arts community and it's got a number of eclectic little restaurants and shops, but you don't make the trek to Sedona for those things. You're coming here to be amidst some of the most amazing natural scenery that you will find anywhere in the world. Now, I must say this. If you're looking for a really rockin' nightlife, head to Las Vegas. If you're looking for world-class cuisine or shopping, perhaps head to Los Angeles. But if you are up for some of the most jaw-dropping natural experiences and views that you could ever imagine, and the opportunity to hike amongst some amazing natural splendor, well then, my friends, you have come to the right place. And it's those very views that motivated Aaron and I to grab the 2 kids, the dog, a suitcase, jump in the vehicle, and make the trek up to Sedona to see what we could get in hiking-wise in a weekend. What I found out early on in the trip was that I had grossly overestimated what we could accomplish as a family of 4 in a weekend as far as hiking is concerned in Sedona. I would say that after our experience, something close to 2 to 3 hikes per day max, with a lot of breaks in between, is probably going to be something that's going to work out for a family like ours that includes a couple young kids and a fairly old pet. All that being said, we really enjoyed our experience in Sedona. We look forward to going back, and thanks for coming along with us as we experience a week in Sedona on a budget, vegan, with 2 little kids and a dog. Let's check it out. All right, we just got to Airport Mesa Trail, and we were up here in the vista. It's right adjacent to the airport, and we are on our way down to check out our first stop on the trip, which is the vortex that's associated with the airport. A lot colder than I thought it was going to be, and things are already kind of starting off not as well as I thought they were going to, because we went to Red Rock State Park and kind of find out that you can't bring a dog into the park. So something to be aware of for folks that are heading this direction with pets. Anyway, let's check out the Airport Mesa Trail Vortex. So we're approaching the first vortex over by the airport. We just came off the Sedona Trail. It's about 0.6 miles from top to bottom, where it meets up with Airport Loop Trail that takes you up to the first vortex that we're going to visit. While the trail itself that we just came off of isn't very long, It is rather steep in sections, and it's rocky as well, and it recently rained out here, so it's worth mentioning that if you're visiting Sedona and plan on hiking this trail after it's rained or it's snowed, be mindful that it can be fairly muddy and slick on the way down, and there's not a lot of parking that's associated with the Airport Loop Trail that's right here adjacent to the vortex. That being said, let's go check out the first vortex and see if it lives up to the hype. Another aspect of Sedona that makes it unique are the vortexes, or vortices. While the entirety of Sedona is considered to be a vortex or a natural center of swirling energy that emanates from the earth that is conducive to healing and spirituality, there are 4 key vortexes that are immediately in the vicinity of Sedona, and each of them is worth visiting. Each of the 4 vortex sites has its own distinct characteristics. Whether it's Airport Mesa that we visited, Boynton Canyon, Bell Rock, or Cathedral Rock, each has a distinct type of energy that it is known for. Whether it's masculine power, feminine power, a combination of the two, people frequently write and speak about coming away from these vortexes with a sense of positivity and being uplifted. And even if you don't believe in the power of spiritual healing, check out some of the trees that are in the vicinity of these vortexes, and you can see distinct natural evidence of some kind of natural spiraling energy that seems to be coming from the earth. So we arrived at the top of the Airport Mesa, and Erin feels like she's had an extra cup of coffee. She feels rejuvenated. I feel like I've got pressure on my chest and I'm a little bit lightheaded. It seems like my daughter feels the same way, and my son, I think he's just happy to be here. It's absolutely extraordinary. We've got a 360-degree view of Sedona, and the views are nothing short of remarkable. Anybody who is considering visiting Sedona, I would absolutely recommend it. This should be on everybody's bucket list. So we just got done hiking the Airport Mesa Loop Trail to check out the vortex. It's over by the airport. And the kids are hungry, so we stopped into Tlackpack and going to the Secret Garden Cafe. Let's check it out. Trying to be as objective as I possibly can here, because the restaurant was nice, people very, very friendly, the service was good, but the food was bland and generally unimaginative. And for $64 for a lunch that included a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a small little hummus pizza, a garden burger, and then a tempeh Reuben sandwich with a side of guacamole, I had higher expectations for a restaurant that promoted its vegan cuisine, and it just wasn't anything that really stood out to us. So we're just about to the summit, or at least the parking lot that's adjacent to the Chapel of the Holy Cross, which is a really, really beautiful Catholic church that is inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright. For anybody who plans on parking at the bottom of the hill, just understand that the parking is very, very limited, and the pathway that leads, the walkway at least, leads up to the top parking lot that's closest to the church is very narrow. You got cars that are going by on both sides. One thing that is helpful is that the folks who run the facility here shuttle folks up and down with golf carts, so they can pack, looks like up to 4 to 6 folks, depending upon the size of the cart, up to the top of the hill and back, and maybe the safer option, especially on busy days like today. The architect of the chapel is not Frank Lloyd Wright, but Marguerite Brunswick Stott, who in 1932, after seeing the Empire State Building for the first time, was inspired and believed that churches should speak to the people of their time contemporarily the same way the Empire State Building did. She envisioned a chapel as big as a skyscraper that covered a city block. And in 1955, at the cost of $300,000, she broke ground on the Chapel of the Holy Cross in Sedona. Today it sits perched on two distinct red rock formations rising 200 feet above the ground. Alright, so here we are. We are on Cathedral Trail. We're fairly close to the base of it. It's a 1.2 mile round trip. As you can see behind me on the far right hand side of the screen, there's a notch on the far right between a series of rock formations. So that's where we're headed. It's around 500 feet or so elevation change to get up there, and it's a pretty neat little trail. And this is a fairly rigorous walk so far, so we're on our way up. More here in a minute from the top, hopefully. All right, so here we go, on the way up the top to Cathedral Rock. Try to make it quick because Aaron and the kids and dog are gonna hang back because it's a fairly steep walk. So try and make it fast. All the things we did on our trip to Sedona, the hike up Cathedral Rock is my favorite by far. Make no mistake about it, when they say this trail is difficult, they mean it. It was tough on the way up, even harder on the way down, and I couldn't even imagine what it would be like if it was snowy or wet. Making sure before you go, you bring hiking shoes with great treads. Hiking poles would be beneficial, and if it's muddy or snowy outside, I'd recommend crampons as well for the hike. Hey man, about halfway up so far, and that is a workout. All right, so I'd say probably about 100 feet or so below the this point. Right where my finger is at, so I imagine I'm probably about 10 minutes away from that. Gonna head up as fast as I can. I had to cut out filming because I needed both my feet to be able to, and hands to be able to get a couple of the rock formations. To get some video here on the top, just a minute. We're just getting started on the Bell Rock Loop Trail, and one thing that's worth mentioning right off the bat that's noticeable here is that the path is extremely flat and wide, and it's more rock surface than it is clay, so it looks like there's less tendency for it to become muddy. But so far this is really nice because there's as much space as we've seen so far on any of the trails we've walked today where the kids can run free without the risk of hitting folks. And it looks like it's a great trail for both mountain bikers, hikers, joggers, even folks riding on horseback. So we're about 1.2 miles or so until we get to the next vortex. So we'll see if we can get there before the sun goes down. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon. It's probably about 50 degrees. So we've hit the high temperature for the day, but it's last hike for the afternoon for us, and I think we're going to end it on a high note. And hey, we didn't finish this hike, but we had a kick-ass time, enjoyed ourselves immensely, and we saved a little energy for the hike up to Devil's Bridge tomorrow morning. So we're getting started this morning hiking towards Devil's Bridge. Pictures we've seen are pretty amazing, so we're looking forward to it. This is an awesome morning to get started. It's probably about 50 degrees, a little bit breezy. As you can see, the sun's out, it's partially cloudy. Really nice temperature for having a hike. We're probably about 1.4 miles to the bridge right now. So it's gonna be the longest hike that we've done thus far with the kids. We'll see how they hold up. But we got a lot of snacks, we'll take some breaks, and we are really excited about the prospects of hiking out on the bridge and getting some great photos. The hike to Devil's Bridge is pretty easy until about the last quarter of a mile, where it gets progressively steeper and can be a little tricky on the natural sandstone stairs leading up to the bridge, especially when it's crowded. You're rewarded, though, with some unparalleled views of the valley below. And Devil's Bridge itself is really extraordinary. It's the largest sandstone arch in the forest and worth the hike all by itself. Now, for anyone with a fear of heights, like me, it can be a bit daunting when you see it from the adjacent cliff, but the width of the arch is wider than it appears from a distance, offering even the most timid with plenty of safety. Our lunch at Chicola Tree was exactly as we had hoped for it to be. The menu was full of homemade, all-natural vegan options, and it was tough choosing too. The food was so good I forgot to take pictures until we ordered dessert. Everything, and I mean everything, we tried was good, especially the avocado herb sandwich and the lemon cream pie. The food was both delicate and filling at the same time, and the prices are comparable to the restaurant we tried the day before, but the quality of the menu's offerings here at Chicola Tree are far superior in my opinion. We just got done having a late lunch here at the Chicola Tree in Sedona after coming off the trail. This place is great. It's spiritual, funky, a little bit eclectic. The food is absolutely amazing. And we tried a little bit of everything on the menu. Coffees, desserts, entrees, appetizers, everything was awesome. We're full, we feel energized. We're gonna hit the road, head down to Camp Verde, which is about an hour away, and try and check out Montezuma's castle before the rain sets in. Well, we didn't make it to Montezuma's castle. C'est la vie. We'll get it next time. But we enjoyed our trip to Sedona. I have a couple ideas to pass on when you plan your trip. First, develop a plan before you go. Know trails you want to hike, know what to expect from them. The Hike House in Sedona, as well as online, is a terrific resource for planning a hike. They're experts on the trails, your conditions, and they can help you choose the ones that best fit you. Also, don't neglect your equipment. Bring actual hiking shoes, consider hiking poles, and perhaps think about cleats or crampons if it's muddy or snowy. Definitely pay attention to the conditions. Parking's in short supply everywhere, particularly in spring through fall. We were here in January and we still had to wait 10 minutes a couple of times for spots to open up trails. Get to your target hiking locations early and have backup options just in case they're full. There are plenty of excellent trails in and around Sedona, so shifting to a new trail when it's packed can be done fairly quickly. And lastly, don't overreach. Give yourself enough time to enjoy a few things thoroughly rather than hurrying around to see a little bit of everything. And above and beyond all, enjoy Sedona.